Good evening to the people of Barbados, and we just like to take a brief moment out this afternoon to give a response to the Prime Minister's address on matters of national security. So, I am Kimar Stewart, the political leader of the new National Party, and we saw it fit to address some of the announcements that were made yesterday in this brief media release. Today being June the 13th, Friday, 2025. Now, Barbados is fast drifting into a police state under 24-hour monitoring and excessive surveillance, with potential for abuse by political actors to quell political dissent and discontent within the society we call Barbados. Now, the announcement that wiretapping is set to be made legal in Barbados as a matter of national security is aimed at pursuing persons involved in criminal activity. Now, this should be looked at from a cybercrime and digital perspective. Now, I want to encourage you all, let's not only think of criminals as gun traffickers, because the Barbadian government has legislated the cybercrime bill of 2024, which essentially criminalizes online and social media speech, along with freedom of expression, turning all cell phone and computer and electronic users and businesses also at the mercy of the all-seeing Barbados Police Service and by extension the Attorney General of Barbados. Now, a long list of cybercrimes and social media activities are now being regarded as criminal acts under the laws of Barbados. And under Section 23(1) of the Cybercrime Bill of 2024, it speaks to the investigation and enforcement of the Cybercrime Bill. Search and seizure, where a judge or magistrate is satisfied on information on oath given by a police officer that there are reasonable grounds for suspecting that an offense is being, or is about to be committed in any place that there is evidence that such an offense, again, has been, is being, or is about to be committed in that place. The magistrate may issue a warrant authorizing any police officer to enter and search the place, including computer system, using reasonable force as necessary. Now, how would a police officer know that you are about to commit a cybercrime unless they have been monitoring our phone calls previously? This is probably the reason why the government is now coming forward with the idea to wiretap the telecommunications of Barbados. I should also remind the government as of this moment that the act of wiretapping Barbadians' lines is an illegal act under the Telecommunications Act of Barbados. Now, the cybercrime bill goes on to say that any person who obstructs a police officer in the execution of his duty on this section, or who fails to comply with the request of a police officer under that section, is guilty of an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $25,000 or to imprisonment for a term of 2 years or both. Barbados recently had a case, if you guys can recall, where a former commissioner of police, Mr. Darwin Dotting, who is now a consultant on crime in the Attorney General's office, and also head of the Anti-Corruption and Anti-Terrorism Unit, was removed by the Police Service Commission as police commissioner based off allegations of illegal wiretappings. I'll repeat that. Barbados had a case in recent times where a former commissioner of police, who is now a consultant on crime in the Attorney General's office, and also the head of the Anti-Corruption and Anti-Terrorism Unit in Barbados, was removed by the Police Service Commission as police commissioner on allegations of illegal wiretappings during his reign as police commissioner. He is a consultant to the government on grant. Any correlation between the wiretapping law that is being proposed by the Prime Minister and this? Let us investigate. Now, the Police Service Commission report highlighted that the phones of 2 former drivers of former Prime Minister Ornafa, government officials, magistrates, judges were illegally wiretapped. Police officers attached to the special branch are on record in testifying that they were made to carry out illegal wiretappings based off instructions from higher powers. Former Deputy Commissioner Bertie Hines also spoke on record about the challenges he faced with illegal wiretappings having some serious impacts on him and his family during his time as a senior police officer. What is further interesting is that a police officer has the authority, after he seeks permission from a magistrate, to have your data, internet traffic data, which basically is known as network traffic, which refers to the data transmitted across a computer network, cell phone device, etc. It is the amount of data moving between devices like computers, phones, and other network devices. And these include things like emails, web browsing history, even the transfer of files, photos, and other private documents that you may have in your phone. It says here, where a magistrate or judge is satisfied on the basis on an ex parte application by the Commissioner of Police or other gazetted police officers that specific data stored in a computer system or device is required for the purpose of a criminal investigation or for criminal proceedings, the judge or magistrate may make an order to ensure the expeditious preservation of traffic data is available. And this is the data from your phone, by the way. I am urging Barbadians to recognize, if you hold a computer device, you are potentially a criminal under these laws. It said in the Cybercrime Bill of 2024 that it shall be a criminal offense to be a cyberbully. So what is a cyberbully? The legislation says that a cyberbully is a person who intentionally uses a computer system to publish, broadcast, or transmit data that is offensive, indecent, vulgar, profane, obscene, menacing in character, or causes any such data source to be sent for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, danger, obstruction, embarrassment, insult, injury, humiliation, and intimidation, hatred, anxiety, or causes substantial emotional distress to that person is guilty of an offense and is liable on summary conviction of $70,000 or to imprisonment for a term of 7 years or both. So a simple social media post gives the Barbados Police Service the power to enter your premise using any reasonable or necessary force. So I'm hoping that you're seeing why I made the claim that Barbados is fast on its way to a police state where police officers can be abused by the higher powers in instructing them to take actions set to persecute members of civil society. If I listen to the rhetoric that was brought up on the press conference, it indicated that the wiretapping legislation is set to target criminals. But if we read the Cybercrime Bill, a lot of these offenses turn regular people on social media and with computers into criminals. So therefore, there needs to be a clearing of the line. A clearing of the line. as it relates to cyber crimes and as it relates to this wiretapping legislation. As the cybercrime legislation clearly said that the police has the authority if they suspect that you are about to create or to commit a crime and convince a magistrate that you're about to commit this crime, they have the authority to enter your premises and confiscate your devices. Section 19 of that same cybercrime bill, it says that a person who intentionally uses a computer system to disseminate any image or word, not caring, listen to this part carefully, whether they are true or false, and causes or is likely to cause or subject a person to ridicule, contempt, or embarrassment, is guilty of an offense and is liable on summary conviction of $70,000 or to imprisonment for a 7-year term or both. Now, these actions allow for the intrusive and invasive monitoring of Barbadian citizens and businesses by the government of Barbados, utilizing the good policemen and women of this country. Now, the excessive powers vested in the police force opens society to the possible abuse by government and unfairly targeting individuals, unless a clear separation can be achieved. And a differentiation on cyber crimes and criminal offenses, and to have the language cleared up that this wiretapping bill is set to go after criminals when you are essentially criminalizing free speech using the cybercrime bill. This is a legal way to spy on the citizens of Barbados under a 24-hour monitor and surveillance practice. And the people of Barbados need to be very cautious in their fear in allowing the government to encroach on their privacy and encroach on their constitutional rights for protection and possible abuse in the exercise of power. So I thank you very much. And that is the brief response that I'm offering to this idea of wiretapping and using wiretapping laws in Barbados to target criminals. The people of Barbados need to be cautious, as this precedent is very dangerous and it is tailoring the police state type behavior happening in this small country. Barbados is too small, too loving a place for these type of dictatorship type laws to be happening in this country. They're urging the people of Barbados to wake up and to see what is happening and to ask questions about what is happening, because their security is definitely under threat. Thank you very much.